Welcome to Central Gov Strategy TV. Today I've got with me Neil Serjeant, who is the Chief Executive of Shared Services within DEFRA. Welcome, Neil.
Thank you.
Neil, there's been a recent National Audit Office report that indicates fairly substantial investment in shared services, but relatively meagre returns. But DEFRA, your approach within DEFRA seems to have kind of bucked that trend or challenged that sort of statement. What's different about your approach?
We think we have bucked the trend to some extent historically, and that we will buck the trend going forward. Historically, our approach was not to be so dependent on contractors and consultants, but to bring the expertise in-house and develop our own. And I think what that enabled us to do was to spend less than others did in creating the shared services, but still to deliver the benefits at the same level they did.
And could you describe the key lessons then, in addition to the statement you've just made? What are the key lessons, and what could you share with other government departments in their development of shared services?
The key lessons for me have been that in the absence of really strong executive sponsorship at the top of departments, it's just really difficult to take even a good and successful concept forward and to grow it within the government, the central government environment. So certainly I would encourage anyone who's doing this to make sure that they've got really good public alignment at the top. I don't think those people at the top need to be intimately involved, but they need to make it clear that they're standing behind it and that their expectation is that their department, their delivery bodies will play.
Can you give some examples of the way you've implemented shared services?
I can. Our model has mostly been about delivering, and this is true for most shared services, delivering a standardised service that's quite automated and that moves the balance of accountability, if you like, away from people doing things for you and to you as a manager doing it for yourself, or you as an employee doing it for yourself. So we have a standard set of processes underpinned by technology, which we can offer for a predetermined and reasonably competitive price, and we've built success with our existing customers. So we measure how we're doing, we ask them how we're doing. At the moment, the measurements say we're doing okay, and our customers say we're doing okay, and we then take that to other organisations and say, we've got a track record, we can do it for this, it's our core competency, it's not your core competency, how about we work together? The language tends to be very collaborative in the public sector, but there's a pretty strong economic case underpinning it for working together.
And so what's the transactional relationships between yourselves and other government departments?
We provide a service, so we sit within DEFRA, the core policy department, and we provide a service to about 12,000 people, about 10,000 of whom are inside DEFRA and 2,000 sit in a couple of organisations that are outside DEFRA. Both part of the Crown, so they're part of central government, part of the same legal body, but different departments. We have a service level agreement with them, and we effectively contract with them to deliver a service to them for a price.
And could you not roll that out to other government departments and create some income into the department through those sort of internal business relationships?
We certainly could, and there's a sense in which that's exactly what we're planning to do. It's always been true in central government, and I think this is something that isn't unique to central government. There have always been plenty of people who've been prepared to put their hand up and say, I would like to be a provider of shared services. There have been a lot fewer who've been willing to put their hand up and say, actually, we're not going to do it for ourselves. We're going to ask someone else to do it for us. The Department for Energy and Climate Change is an example of someone who did that, but they're relatively rare. So when they were created through a machinery of government change, they as a strategic principle established, we are not going to build our own back office function. We're going to use someone else's, and I'm pleased that they're using ours. There's also a bit of reluctance by accounting officers, so permanent secretaries. So my permanent secretary is reluctant, maybe putting it too strongly, but not enthusiastic about taking on the accountability for providing that service to other government departments, and that's something that we're having to overcome. The strategy that we've developed says, well, we need to move outside of the control of any one department so that we can be independent, and then provide our service under contract to many different government departments.
Neil Serjeant, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.